Every human being carries a deep, unshakable desire to rise, to become more, to reach higher, to live a life that truly matters. It's in our nature to dream of greatness, to crave success, to long for a life of purpose and significance. But as we begin to climb, we realize something crucial. The higher we go, the lonelier the path becomes. Not everyone has the courage to walk this path alone, and even fewer are willing to confront the difficult, uncomfortable truth that true change demands sacrifice. We fear solitude, we fear isolation, we fear the discomfort of transformation. It's a terrifying thought, letting go of what we know, stepping into the unknown, leaving behind everything that has shaped us. Yet, in the vast skies of possibility, there is one creature that stands as a shining example of defying fear: the eagle, the fiercest ruler of the skies. The eagle's story isn't simply one of strength, it's a story of unwavering sacrifice. It's not just about soaring to the highest peaks, but about surrendering everything, the old, the weak, the tired, in order to be reborn. The eagle teaches us that to rise above, you must first be willing to fall, to endure pain, and to stand alone. Its process of transformation is brutal, painful, and often solitary. But it does not shy away from this. It understands that true greatness comes not in staying the same, but in the willingness to be stripped bare, to become something new. It sheds its old self in order to reach the heights it was always meant to attain. The eagle knows that greatness is earned through struggle, through discomfort, and through the courage to let go of what is familiar. And through this majestic bird, we learn one of life's hardest but most powerful truths. In order to fly higher than you've ever dreamed, you must first dare to be alone and be brave enough to endure the pain of becoming someone new. Only then can you reach the sky that others can only look up to. Only then can you claim your place among the few who have the courage to become the best version of themselves. This is the price of greatness, and it is a price worth paying. The eagle flies alone, always. While the world below buzzes with the noise of the crowd, while others settle for the safety of the familiar, the eagle rises to heights where no one else dares to go. It does not follow the masses, nor does it seek approval from those who stay grounded. It chooses the sky, the endless horizon that few have the courage to chase. Not because it is easy, but because it was born for it. Built to thrive in the challenge, to soar above the world, untouched by the limits that others accept. The eagle knows that greatness is not found in the comfort of the flock. It is found in the discomfort of standing alone, of being willing to stand apart from the crowd in order to rise higher than anyone else. Solitude for the eagle is not isolation, it is elevation. It does not fear being alone. In fact, it actively seeks it. Because it knows the truth, true greatness is never discovered in the crowd. The eagle flies solo, not out of loneliness, but to preserve the purity of its vision, to stay focused, to remain sharp and unshaken. It understands that the high path is not for those who wish to be liked, but for those who dare to be different, those who dare to leave behind the noise and the distractions. And when you choose that same path, the path of the eagle, you may find yourself alone. But that solitude is not your weakness, it is your power. It is in that space of quiet, of stillness, where you discover your true strength. In that silence, you sharpen your focus, refine your purpose, and learn to trust yourself. When you choose to rise above the noise, above the expectations, above the comfort of the crowd, you don't just find freedom, you find your true self. In the solitude, in the discomfort, you will discover that you were never meant to fit in. You were meant to soar. But even the eagle, the undisputed symbol of dominance, fearlessness, and unyielding strength, faces a moment of crisis. As time passes, the eagle begins to feel the weight of age. Its once razor-sharp talons grow dull. Its mighty beak begins to bend. Its wings, once strong and swift, become heavy with wear. Slowly, flight becomes impossible. At this moment, the eagle stands at a crossroads. It can choose to fade, to succumb to the slow decay of time, or it can choose the agonizing path of transformation. And in that defining moment, the eagle makes a choice. It chooses the mountain. It flies to the highest, most remote peak, the place where few creatures dare to go, the place where the world's noise is silenced. There, in that sacred solitude, the eagle begins its brutal process of rebirth. It smashes its own beak against the rocks, breaking it, tearing it apart in order to wait for a new one to grow. It does not shy away from the pain. It embraces it, knowing it is the price of renewal. With its new beak, the eagle rips out its own talons, one by one, shedding what is weak, what no longer serves its future. Finally, it plucks out every single feather that weighs it down, leaving behind the body that once soared to unimaginable heights. For months, it suffers. It bleeds. It waits. But in the end, something incredible happens. When the eagle returns, it doesn't just survive, it soars again. It is stronger. It is sharper. It is reborn. This is not simply a story of survival. It is a story of choice. It is the choice to embrace the pain of transformation, the choice to walk through fire in order to emerge stronger. This is the essence of growth. The courage to endure, the willingness to shed the old in order to create something more powerful, more purposeful. It is the act of choosing growth over decay, transformation over surrender. The eagle's rebirth is a reminder to all of us. To rise to new heights, we must first be willing to break and rebuild. The higher you want to go, the more alone you must be willing to stand. Success is not something that follows the masses. It doesn't walk with the crowd. It's not found in the company of those who settle for the ordinary. The path to greatness is not wide and smooth. It is narrow, steep, and often empty. It's a path few dare to take, a journey that demands everything you have to give, because not everyone has the strength to walk it. Not everyone is willing to pay the price of leaving behind comfort, the price of standing alone, the price of choosing the road less traveled. Those who reach the mountaintop, the ones who truly touch the sky, aren't the loudest, the most popular, or the most followed. They are the ones who dared to leave the noise behind, the ones who found the courage to stand alone. They chose silence over approval, focus over distraction, purpose over popularity. They chose to listen to the quiet voice within, the voice that calls them higher, even when the world tells them to stay. They chose the higher calling over the temporary comfort of fitting in. And by doing so, they unlocked a power within them that only those who dare to walk alone will ever know. To fly high like the eagle, you must be brave enough to walk alone. Because it is only in that solitude that you will hear the whispers of your true calling, the call that is meant for you and you alone. The world will try to drown it out. The distractions will come at you from every side, trying to pull you back into the crowd. But the eagle's path is solitary for a reason. Only when you step away from the noise can you clearly see where you're meant to go. Only when you embrace the silence can you hear the guidance that will lead you to the heights you were always meant to reach. And once you find that purpose, once you hear the calling that only the brave can hear, nothing will stop you from soaring. You will rise higher than you ever imagined because you dared to walk alone. You trusted that every step you took, no matter how hard or lonely, would bring you closer to the sky. And in the end, when you reach the heights others can only dream of, you'll know that it was the solitude, the courage, and the faith in your journey that made you unstoppable. Growth always demands a price, and that price is pain. Just like the eagle, you cannot carry the old version of yourself into a new life. You cannot continue on the same path, weighed down by the habits and fears that once served you, but now keep you from flying higher. The dreams you chase will demand more than what you are today. They will require a stronger you, a sharper you, a braver you. But that kind of growth isn't free. It comes with a cost that asks you to sacrifice. It asks you to let go, to surrender what you thought was safe, what you thought was comfortable, to release the parts of you that are holding you back, even if they've been with you for years. Letting go of the comfort zone, letting go of what no longer serves you, letting go of the fears that keep you tethered to the ground, letting go of the excuses that prevent you from spreading your wings. Change is never easy. Transformation is a violent process. It asks you to break, to shatter, to endure. The old you must be dismantled piece by piece for the new you to emerge. The life you once knew, the identity you once wore, must be left behind in order for the true you to rise. But pain is not your enemy. Pain is the fire that forges your strength. It is the crucible in which your power is refined. Pain is not something to fear. It is the very thing that will shape you into the person you are meant to become. The eagle's rebirth is not gentle. It is not easy. It is brutal. It is fierce. It is painful. But the alternative, remaining stuck, trapped in a life that no longer fits you, is far worse. You were not born to remain the same. You were born to rise, to soar, to be something greater than you ever imagined. But to rise, to reach new heights, you must first be willing to break. You must be willing to shed the old version of yourself, to let go of everything that has kept you small so that you can make room for the greatness that lies within you. And when you do, you will discover something extraordinary. On the other side of pain, there is freedom. On the other side of discomfort, there is transformation. And on the other side of breaking, there is soaring. Soaring to heights you once thought were unreachable. The eagle does not become great without sacrifice, and neither will you. But once you embrace that sacrifice, once you step into the storm of your own transformation, you will find that the freedom to fly, to reach new heights, is worth every moment of pain. You are destined for greatness, but greatness will not come unless you are willing to leave the old behind, to break what is broken, and to rise stronger, sharper, and more powerful than you've ever known. And when you finally take flight, you will understand this truth. On the other side of your pain is the power to soar. Rebirth is not fate. It is a choice. You are not bound by the mistakes of yesterday. You are not sentenced to live in the shadows of your past. You are not defined by your struggles, your failures, or your wounds. Like the eagle, you have the power to choose to fade or to fight, to surrender or to start over. You have within you the power to decide which path you will walk. And in that moment of choice, you become the creator of your own destiny. Every moment, life offers you the chance to begin again. A chance to rise from the ashes of your past, a chance to recreate yourself. But that opportunity comes with a price. It demands you face yourself, the broken parts, the ugly truths, the fears you've hidden away. It asks you to break what is broken, to shatter the pieces of your old self that no longer serve you, so that you can rebuild. To rebuild what is worthy. To build something stronger, something truer, something that aligns with the person you are becoming. Transformation never comes without cost. It requires you to confront the pain, to face the uncomfortable truths, and to allow yourself to crumble, only so you can rise again. No one can do it for you. No one can carry you through the storm. No one can give you the strength to face your darkest moments. This is your mountain. This is your journey, your pain, your rebirth. It is yours alone to walk. And though it may feel lonely, though the world may not understand, know that this journey is yours to own. Every step, every moment of struggle is yours to claim. And when you rise again, stronger, lighter, wiser, the world may not recognize you. They may not see the depth of the battle, the sacrifices you made, the transformation that took place within you. But you will recognize yourself. And in that moment, you will know the truth. You chose to become something greater. You chose to rise. You chose to fight when it would have been easier to fall. You chose to become the eagle, the one who flies alone, the one who faces the storm and emerges stronger, the one who dares to break free from the chains of the past. You chose to soar higher than you ever believed possible. And in that choice, you will find the greatest power of all, the power to transform. You chose to become the version of yourself that you were always meant to be. Sometimes you have to stand alone just to discover how far you were truly meant to fly. In the silence of your solitude, you will find the strength to hear your true calling. The world may not understand why you choose this path, but that's because it's not for everyone. Greatness is never built by those who follow the crowd. It is forged by those who dare to walk alone. The world may question your solitude, but remember, the eagle does not fear being alone. It understands that only by standing alone can it rise above the noise, above the distractions, and reach the sky that others only dream of. The sky was never meant to be crowded. It belongs to those who dare to soar higher. It belongs to those who break free, who leave behind the safety of the shore and venture into the unknown. It belongs to those who dare to transform. And most importantly, it belongs to those who dare to rise. Be like the eagle, unafraid of loneliness, knowing that in solitude you will discover your truest strength. Be fearless in the face of change, knowing that every step toward transformation brings you closer to the greatness you are destined for. Because on the other side of pain is power. On the other side of isolation is clarity. The clarity that lets you see beyond the limits of your past and into the boundless future ahead. And on the other side of fear is flight. The freedom to be who you truly are. To live the life you were meant to live. Not just to survive, but to soar. Fly where few have flown. Live the life that only the brave ever touch. In the quiet of your journey, you will uncover a strength you never knew you had. In the solitude, you will find the wings that were always inside you, waiting to be spread. It's time to rise, to become the version of yourself you've always dreamed of, and to soar higher than you ever believed was possible. The world might not recognize you at first, but you will recognize yourself. And that recognition will be the greatest victory of all.